Right, so you see this is near breakout. Spending some time, we saw so this week it made this move. This candle started today, 4th of September. It was like here, and then early this week it made this move, right, and brought back to this level where you can expect it to hit for the interim resistance. So looking good. So all the coins in short are, most of the coins, not all actually, not some of them have made higher high, but most of the coins are still, you would see something similar. So Aave, for example, has a similar pattern, but it hasn't reached to this level. It could make a progress and then reach, but again it's similar pattern, but little variation. ADA made a new high, as we know. Now this is chilling, this is consolidation. The pattern is not so regular, it's little bit odd, but on a 3-day scale, maybe on a 1-day scale it's not that bad. Yeah, on a 1-day scale. Now if you look at ADA, it is telling that it's not ready to move up, not yet. So it is likely to spend some time. Again, I'm talking about today. uh, unless and until it breaks below 2.65 level, I think there is nothing to worry, or nothing. This doesn't require any judgment that, or assumption that it is going down or something like that. It would be premature to conclude that. So 2.65 could be the level where you can say, okay, if it goes below, then this is like going for longer sideway movement, longer, right? In that case, it makes a case of rotating. If anyone is holding, then it makes sense, because then it could take few days or few weeks. Algo hit the resistance, 1.27 resistance. It has hit that one precisely. I don't know why. Yeah, precisely. And it just retraced from that level, which makes sense, right? So once that is broken above, then you can expect for a higher level. So this looks good, but I think I should change back to 3-day scale. 1 day is very noisy. So this is looking good. Al is something we added last time. It is making progress. There's little few days of dip, which is fine, but now making this as a base, and then I see that it could make a big move on the upside. Very positive at this moment. So it's if you look at structure wise, I mean, if I had this line, actually I can bring down this line a bit like this, which is totally okay, indicating all these rejections. So it's kind of consolidating and sitting on this yellow line, and which is so positive. So anyone who is looking for longer term need not have to worry, especially today it's up by 8%, which confirming that it doesn't want to go down to this route. I mean, it has to go up. So looking good. Atom, I think, yeah, this is a heavy resistance zone. The whole entire thing is heavy resistance zone in my point of view. So I think we'll just give some time for Atom to break above. It's near all-time high. I mean, it made a nice progress. So pretty straightforward for you to understand that once this is whole entire thing is a resistance zone, so it might progress little slowly, and then this is where you can look forward as I said earlier many times, in fact, that you have to see if it is breaking above resistance. If you're looking for fast gain comparatively, nothing is confirmed, but relatively speaking, then try to avoid when the coin is near resistance. Okay, then because it could move slowly and slow you down in terms of gain, right? So again, AVAX, remember last time I said this, it was amazing, and I said, I think I'd drawn a box. I removed that box. I don't know what I had, but look at that. This is, it had hit R11, and then it came down and consolidating. This is very positive, and I think I drew an arrow which I removed here. So you had to, if you're a trader, it's not that it's bad, but it gives you opportunity to rotate your money, you know. So how, so it had hit R11. I'll give NKN as another example. I'll briefly skip because this topic is so important and this is not so commonly followed. I'm not saying you follow it, but I would really like you to see the benefit here. You see, this coin had hit R11 here on August 23rd, and from gain point of view, it hasn't give you anything. So that money can be used somewhere else. And when it breaks above, you can always join. For an example, I'll briefly digress and move to NKN because I'll, you see NKN hit interim resistance of this, of this 0.54 earlier, when early August, around a month ago. Then it retraced and it took 1 month for it to come back. Now I'm not saying you must sell it. If you could sell, fine. It's, but the point is, it came down here, so you have to understand. I mean, I'm sure, I'm not assuming nobody understands. What I mean is that it took 1 month, so this is kind of a detour. This is like, you know, it took a month of time. Now if you had booked your profit here, you could have used that money for a month for something else. You would have set this alert here. Today, NKN has broken above this, at least it's moving up. You could have come down, come back and say, okay, I left my NKN here, I'm riding it back. So this is the prime example. What advantage you got here is you get your money for a month for something else which might be moving up. So just an example, if you would have, let's say, invested in ADA or Solana or something else, it would have grown. Now ADA, you saw ADA is now silent, and maybe Solana is also getting, you know, maybe it's silent. We'll see that. But as an example, so you might have used that money for ADA, right? Let's say, and now ADA is like silent or, you know, under consolidation. You would have come back to your NKN, right, and say, okay, let me ride now. So now this is your R2. If you repeat this process, and it's not that you have to sit in front of your chart, use your alert, and it's okay even if you miss few dollars here and there, few couple of percent here and there. The idea is, you try to get this, this jump, because price hops, as I always say, from resistance to another, and I'm trying to give this resistance as accurate as possible, which could allow this method to work, which is approach B. uh, if you don't have precise resistance, approach B doesn't work. So I'm banking on approach B because the resistance are pretty accurate. So this just wanted to digress to explain the method, how, why it is so important, so you could rotate your money effectively. Okay, so AVAX, for an example, sitting duck doing nothing, it's a waste of money. if I'm a trader. So it doesn't mean it is you're losing money. See, that's not what I mean. It also doesn't mean that AVAX is bad at this moment. It simply mean you're not gaining enough. So if that is not your intention, that's all right. You hold it. So it's an option, as I always say. See, my job is to offer different methods. It's always up to you what makes sense to you, right? But whenever there is chance, I'll explain it. So now this is going up. See now, nice. So this band makes sense. So you can look forward for this coin up to 14, correct? But when it is at 14, it might stay there. So you can take advantage of this move. BNB, for example, let's see what BNB is doing, right? BNB is now preparing for another leg, and so we can expect it to travel this much. So it's up to you. If you're a short-term trader, you can book profit and all, fine. For me, this is a beginning. This BNB is beginning, and it is heading for that 600 level, right? If you think this move is good enough, it's up to you. But this is a beginning. So we are talking about 20% move. Here you can book profit, for example, and then when it breaks above, then you can, it's up to you. So that these are different ways. This is on move, it's looking good. BZRX is still stuck. When it is stuck, there's not much of an opportunity, so it will spend some time. CELR, not bad. It's spending some time. I think the whole entire thing is very busy. So Doge is showing a good sign. If you look at, so it's you can expect it to touch 0.35 easily, and then it could spend some time and then look for. So there are two hops. One is this one, and then this, and then when this is, it might spend some time here and then look for previous high. So now it's still recovering. There's nothing major move, there's no major move, but it can blast off anytime, and it has a ability to make a big move. So it may not give enough time, in fact, when it starts. Dot, all good. Nice, nice bounce, right? Nice recovery so far, near all-time high. The whole entire thing is resistance zone, we can imagine, right? Similar thing, more or less, very similar. So I would say the same. ETH, we talked about prolonged consolidation. There was no opportunity, very hard, and sometimes it's very hard to go through this phase. But look at this breakout, nice breakout, all the way to 4K, right? Very quick one. Now it is sitting near all-time high, which makes sense. So it makes sense. It might spend some time here and then look forward. File is on move, as simple as that. It could react near this one because that's an interim resistance around 90, I'm saying. So, but it's looking good. I would be interesting to see if it will really spend time. It might not spend a lot of time here. We'll see. I think next week we'll come to know. But this was nice ascending consolidation. Now this is a breakout today. So it's changing gear. It's changing gear. Some of the coins, you see, there some of the coins volumes are disguising. Well, you may not get volume. Even sometime this is so strange. So you see the spike, huge. There's no volume. Where is volume? I don't see any volume. So when we talk about alt, sometime I feel that volume data are not so useful. and sometimes we do get volume. So point is, there's no consistencies. That's my challenge with alts and volume. Look at this. It made so much of progress. Where is volume? Nothing. It is nothing here. We see some here. This is the only one good one, but then this here it went up. There's nothing enough. I mean, not enough. So anyway, so I won't stress much. That's how it is, and I just accept the fact that you have to ignore. That's why I don't talk about volume a lot. It's significant in stock market, the data, and also it's important for Bitcoin and some other. Anyway, so FTM, look at FTM. FTM has hit the target, right? It hit the R3, and I think I shared R4 as well last night. No, I have to check. If not, I'll give you. I mean, this is a natural reaction, as you could imagine. Retraced a bit, not much, tiny bit, and this is one of the strongest one at this moment. GRT, let's hope that it changes its gear. Again, this coin, no volume. Where's volume? There's no volume. Upside, downside, absolutely no volume. So what are you going to judge about this coin? Nothing. So volume is not going to tell you anything about this price movement. Maybe some volume in a relative term. Anyways, right. So right now this is making progress, but a slow progress. But it might shoot up. BRT. HNT is sitting on new all-time high. So this is just spending time at a new all-time high, and looks good to me. One of the strongest one throughout the period. ICP, this might have annoyed many because of its very long consolidation, but compare this with like consolidation of Ethereum, which I'll again go back quickly, and you see this consolidation, which is something similar. This consolidation was like for many days, and ICP is the same thing, longer than Ethereum, of course, so it's more annoying. I take it, I get it, but this coin can make 40% move, and then it will surprise everyone, and then you'll say, oh, I didn't get time. So because who knows, maybe that's the nature of this coin, that it might frustrate everyone, like do this one, and then here it spend time, and then a big move, it's spending here time, and then can be a bigger move. It might just shatter this one and then go up, and you never know. So this coin can cover the ground in no time, right? So I would say, of course, when it is here, you may switch and rotate, but now when it is here, this is not time to rotate, because this is on move, clearly on move. This is not somewhere here. Somewhere here I can say, okay, this is boring. This is not boring. It's a back-to-back green candle on 3-day scale, so it's making progress. It has touched this level, which is this rejection point. Maybe I'll zoom in. Maybe on a 1-day scale I'll show you for this one especially. You see, it got rejected, but that's not a rejection kind of. This is just a intraday rejection. Earlier to my point, anything intraday for few hours is not a conclusion. You cannot conclude that it is going down, okay, or it's attempt. Many people say fake out. It's not fake out. That's not the right way to explain, in my point of view. This is not fake out. This is a real one. It's part of the game. It's just an attempt, and it's just a rejection. When it is trying to break about this resistance, it reacts like this. So it's not fake out. It's not faking you out, right? This is how it works. Many people say fake out. Maybe logically speaking, they're expecting it to break out, and if it doesn't, that means it didn't do as per the expectation. They think it's fake out. It's not fake out. So this is a low, this is a higher low, this is a higher low, this is a higher low. It's making progress. It has it has created a bottom. Now it's trying to break above. Maybe it's taking time, and it's going to take a couple of attempts. Who knows? This is not fake out. Okay. And this is not time to get bored, because this has woken up, in short. Okay. In fact, it got rejected from R1. It got rejected from R1, so it makes sense. It's not fake out. If anyone doesn't know R1, I can understand that this zone is a resistance. People don't understand that. And now we know it's resistance because there were 3 rejections. So this is a strong resistance zone. So this is rejection, not fake out. Anyways. Nice, right? This is awesome. I liked it. So Ayata really made a nice move. I think this move was so quick that it was not easy to take it. But what I like today is not just one-off pump, but it reminds me something like this then, something like this. So how long it will sustain, we don't know. But definitely it wants to continue for now, for a few days maybe. So I think this is a good coin in that regards. It's approaching the resistance, so we'll see whether it will entertain or not. Maybe it will just react a bit, but looking at its performance in last few days, it will not respect this resistance and blast off, say go away. It is possible because it has a momentum. Okay. KVA had reacted after hitting this resistance, so which makes sense. This was R7. Yeah. So it's consolidating near R6, which makes sense. So the whole entire R6, R7 becomes, resistance zone from a technical analysis point of view. I'll share R8 soon. We have enough time. KCS, excellent setup, I would say. Now it's spending time very similar to ICP, of course, not the same structure, but rejected, and now this resistance is giving tough time. So what? I mean, yeah, so this is boring part. But again, you always have a choice. For an example, if you have KCS, you don't have to hold it, for an example, if you don't want to. Right now it's too close, but if it is here, you could have booked profit here, and you could have entered only above this one. But if you made a choice to hold it, nothing wrong. But then two months you're at the same price. So this is another example. On NKN, the duration was 1 month. This KuCoin, the duration is 2 months. So we got 2 examples. So when the trend is good, when the environment is good, coin do not die. And that's why I want to touch base the concept of stop loss also. Don't worry about stop loss a lot when the trend is up. It's up to you. You might have a low tolerance, but if trend is if broken, then yeah. And I'm going to highlight if trend is broken. So if you trust me, you don't have to worry. We will not have any coin which has a broken trend. It doesn't mean I'm not saying I personally don't like stop loss. I control with my money. I put only which I think I can absorb, and I'll get enough time if it plunges. And if the trend is good, I know it will come back, and so on. So it's up to you. When you do, if you're getting stopped out, you might consider what I just said. You may ask question. I won't go into that subject unless there is a question. But stop loss is poorly understood by many, and people get stopped out, including myself few years ago, until I understand the game. Once you understand the game, stop loss is not a big deal. In fact, stop loss is not a big deal. How to you will not think about setting up the stop loss. The topic itself is irrelevant in my point of view. Anyways, so this is spending time because it's a resistance, but it now there's no other way but up towards R3. So it can break out anytime. It's just a matter of time. So if you're waiting, I don't think you have to wait long. I saw a comment from Shortsea. Shortsea was probably holding it, so maybe the many people like many traders would be waiting. So I believe there won't be much of a wait time. Anyways, KSM, you see how it is spending time. KSM is a good coin. It went up nicely, but look at how it's reacting. Now, when a resistance, I said there are three outcomes. One, when it hits resistance, there are three outcomes. One, it pauses. Pauses means it can move in a very narrow range. Like what you see is a narrow range. I call this is a pause. Okay. In some cases, it retraces. The previous example, this is second outcome. You see, this is called retracement, right? And third is where it can have a small bear trend like this one, R3 reaction, or it could have a longer one. But this is kind of a mini bear trend because in terms of percentage, the crypto went down by 50-70% or 80% in some of the cases. To me, that kind of a bear scenario, not a bear market, but in terms of loss, it is like a bear market because this is a quick fall and rise or recovery. I wouldn't say bear phase, but it's just a counter trend, but deep one and a nasty quick one. But point is, in with the context to the resistance, when it hits. So, for example, if I go back in past, right, I would give the next resistance. See, I gave you in fact here. I wouldn't know, or nobody knows that how it is going to do, what it is going to do when it hits. So if you time travel and you are here somewhere, you wouldn't know what is going to happen next. So when you say next week, you might say, okay, this is just a reaction, and then next week, oh, it's a deeper one, and so on. Here still you don't know, you wouldn't know. So you make, of course, this is not a pause, but a second category. So there are three outcomes. It pauses, it can spend time here near resistance. That's first one. Second, it retraces like this, and the third one, it expands that one and goes like this. So this is the third one. You would not know. You have to track it and call like this, where we track it and then assess it, but you wouldn't know when it hits it. Okay, that's a fact. Nobody knows. When I say humans, nobody knows. So it hit here. See, this is second category, correct? It hit. This is so good example because I could explain all three into one. So this is it has hit the resistance, but it's very little pullback. I mean, sorry, retracement. So you see, this is first category. This is second one. This is third one. This is how price. I mean, this is what is price reaction, price action near resistance. This is a prime example. So KSM, it hits this one. So this is still category one. It can become category two. We don't know. We can't say. It is impossible to say. So if it spends time, you have an option to use your money, bringing back the old boring topic, because we don't know when it will go up. It might go up tomorrow, today, who knows. You may rotate it, or you may wait. So you may end up with few days, few weeks, or a month of consolidation. You don't know. or it may go up, and so it's a choice. And rotation can be, it's not just 100%. You can say, okay, it hit the, let me get rid of 20%, let me book 20%, let me use something, because you have finite money, you don't have infinite money. So if this is stuck here, KSM was do, you, there is option, you can sell 20%, for example, use 20% for something which is rising, we talked about, let's say file or Matic or something else which is rising. So you take out some money from KSM, put into something which is rising. You set an alert. If you're alerted, you come back to KSM if you want. But if your coin where you spent money is rising, you don't have to come back. If KSM continue to be like this, let's say, or range bound in a narrow range, like you may take out more and more money into some. That's called incremental shifting, or shuffling from one coin to another coin. Very graceful one, on a resistance, not ad hoc manner, not impulsive, very planned manner, knowingly what you're doing. And that's where you amplify your gain. And it's so simple actually, because you have to decide on resistance. Anyway, Link is now trying to go up, right? The next destination is 36 level, you know that. LTC had nice bounce, it's continuing, so you can expect the next reaction. So yesterday I mentioned it will react near 219, right, approximately this level, right? So it's spending time for a reason, because this is interim resistance. I don't provide each and every interim resistance because it's too much. Otherwise, there are always some resistance. DA has to pick good ones, because there are always, it's like landmines. The landmine could be like a firecracker, or it could be something deadly, you know. So there can be many resistance along the way. It's not about what is the right one, what is the best one. If you are able to find one where it spends most of the time, that means you crack it. If you find one which is not going to spend time, it's not a good one that you found. Or maybe like a firecracker, not a landmine. Anyway, so that's why I highlighted, for a different reason, because it pumped, and human reaction is, oh, LTC is going up 15%, 17%, FOMO. And that's why I posted, okay, fine, but it is near resistance, so hold your horses, kind of, assumption. So that's why I posted. It doesn't mean it's dying, but you have enough time. That post was just to indicate, don't FOMO, you have enough time. And that's what you see here. Luna spend time, is still spending time. Beauty of this resistance. Awesome move, spending time here. It gives you time to think. R3 is not far, but not yet, until it breaks above. When it spikes up sometimes, so you have to consider this as a range. Sometimes people miss the profit booking, or sometimes people think it is a breakout. So resistance is never one line. There's no one particular cent level. So this is not like 34.90 means 34.90. It is like a range, like this, something like a band or a zone. It is always like that. So you have to think some plus minus here and there. Okay, you have to assume that. So this is not fake out. No way. This is still resistance. Okay. So this is consolidation in this resist on R2 range. Yeah. And that's where, and then you will see a breakout. So we don't know how long it will take. So it's always a choice, as I covered previously. Another good example, Mana hit this resistance, it retraced natural reaction and got a support where previous resistance. So beautiful. All these are technical move. Rejection, support, bounce, then again a reaction, pause, maybe took. So this is category 2, right? Retracement. It touches this, pause, okay, say hi, hello, I am written back, can you open the door? If not, I'll blast off, and it will move on, kind of. So that is a category 1. It might pause a bit. Don't have to worry, set an alert here, take it. It will bring you to the next level. It's as simple. This on opportunity channel, the trading is made simple in a real sense. If you attend these calls, and I'm not saying you transform, but at least you try out, then it's trading is really made so easy here. It's mechanical, it's more process oriented. Look at this one, it's just waiting to blast off, and then next is R17 where it should react, I believe. But this is R17 is the old one, so I'll reassess. Okay, this is an old one, but I think this is okay, 1.9. But when you see this momentum, this is not where you profit book. Another example, not right away, you have to see. So another thing is, this is not all-time high. Like this is not Salona where it is, made a new high. This is under recovery. So all these resistance are part of the recovery. So it's not that it touches, you sell. I mean, you may, but you can, when you are alerted, you have to see if it is case 1 or case 2 or case 3, right? Whether it's just a pause, retracement. You have to spend some time and then judge and then decide, I would say. Not that it touches and you assume it's gone. Yeah, if it starts really going deeper, then fine, then it's a different story. And there also you can actually have a two strategy. You can book a profit, let's say 20% per book, but you don't get out fully, or maybe 50% profit booking, you don't get out fully, and you get out fully only if it is other than category 1 where it retraces deeper. So that's where you don't think, oh, I should have booked the profit. So you still can book profit in some percentage, may not book fully, and book fully only if that category 1 turns into category 2. So that way you get profit at the highest level, local highest up, and then also you are out of consolidation, so on. So don't try to book profit by, unless you're offline, that's a different story, and you want to, otherwise not required. If you're online, you can return back. I would say use alert, don't use buy sell unless there is a really volatile coin. Like for example, I posted one coin on Crazy Coin yesterday, Poly. You cannot do alert. You have to, maybe you have to set buy sell limit, or maybe online. Yesterday I took that trade, but I had to be quick enough to sell. uh, I didn't get the full 55%, but that move was around 55% in few minutes. I got some percentage, but I was happy because the goal was not to get 55. So when you deal with that kind of a coin, it's a different strategy, right? I mean, catching a chicken is different thing than catching something which is not so fast. So you know what I'm saying. So you have to first take that you really want to try to catch a chicken or kill a fly, that kind of, or a simple bug. So if you're trying to catch a fly, then you have to be prepared. You cannot just be passive. Anyway, uh, so understanding of a coin will decide what strategies. So buy, sell limit makes sense for fast moving coins because you don't have enough time, or some volatile coin, not just fast moving but volatile. Some coins it gives you time. NKN, for example, I'll just briefly, it was like here you don't get time. It retraced because it really sometimes moves it really quickly, but for so many coins, you get enough time. Anyway, so where were we? Coming back to our business. Yeah, matic, matic. It got momentum. No need to think that R17 you have to assume. So you see the reaction and then you decide. I would say set an alert. MKR is still consolidating, nothing major at this moment. NKN we covered briefly. It's on move. It's near breakout. You see, this is category 1 for now. This is category 2, correct? And this is category 3. And this is category 1. Just here, it's just paused, spending time. No, don't judge with this kind of movement. This is ready to break out. Okay, I gave art today for a reason. So this is, you should be ready to take this 39% bite. RLC is coming out slowly. You see, it's reacted. This is category 2. I hope it's making sense now more how it reacted. It doesn't mean it's dead. It came back, but then it spent some time. Now it's ready for R3. It's so simple. SKL making nice progress, steady progress. It's a volatile coin. It doesn't give you comfort, as I said many times so far, but it's making progress. See how much percentage is recovered, right? And not much of a, actually, it's a steady progress on a 3-day scale. It went up by 144%, which looks amazing. And it was not that long ago, actually, just 3 weeks ago. So 3 weeks, 144 percentage. Okay, but it requires patience. And who knows, it after this resistance, it might speed up, right, and go really fast. Now Solana is spending some time here. I wouldn't judge this coin as if it's done. It's just again a pause. Okay, there's no absolutely no risk. You can say risk only if it breaks below 116. If you try to sell or exit, again, as I said, it can be a choice to rotate money, but not because it is at risk. So there are two reasons. You might get out because you want to rotate your money, but remember, if it resumes, you might have to come back, right? Because this could continue going up, upside, and hit R18 that way. So that way it might continue, and maybe this pause is just for a few hours. So if you assume that it's dead or it has hit something major, that can be proven wrong. So if it breaks below 135, okay, then you can say, okay, this is not category 1. This is category 1 still. I mean, this is just interim pause. I don't think this is a big deal at all, right? So no way to say this is done, and no way I'm going to say this is at risk. SRM slope, okay, not bad. Volatile coin. Sushi is now, see, reacted here, then retraced, now going back again. You are going to see some reaction. So I think if I'm a trader, I'll just simply ignore. I don't care, let it break above, and then I'll take this bite. So I would, if I'm a trader, I would take this bite. I'm not interested unless you like it, unless you like this sushi and you want to go. So sometimes people say, oh, why, if you want to enter here, why not here? And I said it's just a choice, because what if it's stuck here and spend more time? I would buy rather when it is breaking above. So it's a choice. It seems counterintuitive, but it's a choice. Right, so pros and cons. Tell is not telling what it wants to do at this moment. I just simply say this is just taking its time. If it can repeat it what it did in past, this is not a point of concern. It can make big move. It can reach to R2 in a day. it has that potential. So not to judge this coin by its, so far it's silent for sure, nothing much. So you can simply ignore unless we see momentum. Like what we saw in Matic. Matic we cannot ignore now, but because it got momentum. Theta is consolidating, still consolidating. So nothing much. Uni is still consolidating. You see the behavior. What if you take this example for sushi? You see the reaction from this resistance. So this is something similar. Sushi is here. You might want to compare sushi. See, this is it came down, now climbing. Now I'll toggle. Okay, I'll go back to theta. No, uni, sorry. See, it came down. Sushi is here somewhere. So this is what I was trying. I didn't know uni. I didn't see that in last few days. This is exactly what I mean for sushi. Like it could come down all the way here. If you think you buy if you want to buy, but you don't know. It might spend some time here, and it could even retrace even here and then create a base like this, and it can spend even few more weeks or few more days. Who knows, right? So the good trade is when you see it that you get a clear breakout. That's why in approach B there are the buying is two phase. Again, approach B, if you read or go through that video, there are, it's two phase. You don't assume that it is going for next one. So VR VET is really looking good. VET is looking good, right? We can expect a bigger move here. VRA is stuck. See, I added this rectangle for a reason. Right now it's up by 5%, but you cannot say it is going for next level. You cannot say that. Nobody can say that at this moment. It could spend a good amount of time like AVAX. I'm telling you, it could. If it breaks above, moves up, fine. Alert will tell you. At this moment, I won't say that. No matter how good it was so far. This is resistance zone. It might get stuck here for whole entire September. You never know. So this is waves is got some momentum. Today it's a little down, not a problem, but I think it's making progress towards R11. So it's looking good to me. It's coming up slowly. VRX. Still, there's nothing major at this moment. So not bad. Not bad. Right. So we're done with us. I'll stop the session open for any question you might have.